Hello everyone. Welcome to the new session of biology. I hope you all will be fine. Today we are going to start with standard 11th. The topic which we are going to start is from chapter 15, that is excretion and osmoregulation. Let's start with introductory part. But before starting this, I think some amongst you might have got certain question about the name of the topic. Like some of you might be thinking what is excretion, some of you might be thinking what is osmoregulation. But in order to understand what is excretion or what is osmoregulation, we must first know the details of what is metabolism. Talking about metabolism, in the body of a human being or any organism, number of chemical processes takes place. Okay, now whatever chemical processes occurs in the body, the sum total of all those processes is called metabolism. So in short, we can define metabolism as number of chemical processes occur in the body of an organism. Sum total of these processes is called metabolism. Now here, metabolism, actually what type of chemical processes is involved inside the metabolism is the next question which arises in the mind. So answer to this question is that metabolism involves two different types of chemical processes. It can be anabolic process and catabolic process. Talking about anabolic process. Anabolic process means here the process in which the simple substances are combined together to form a complex substance. You can call it in short as a building up process. Whereas talking about catabolic activities or processes, it is one in which the complex substances are broken down into simpler substances, or in short you can say it is breaking down process. Now during this process of anabolic activities or catabolic activities, or in short we can say metabolism, this metabolism produces a variety of byproducts. Now amongst these byproducts, there are some which need to be eliminated. Such byproducts are called metabolic waste products. Now, if we know what is metabolic waste product, now we can come towards the initial question which was in your mind, like what is excretion, what is osmoregulation. Let's start with that. Now, in order to define excretion, you can say that elimination of metabolic waste or nitrogenous waste from the body is called excretion. Then second question was what is osmoregulation. So definition is somewhat like maintaining the balance between the concentration of salt and the concentration of water in the body is called osmoregulation. Now let's start with excretion and excretory products. In our body, there are certain undigested or unabsorbed waste. These undigested or unabsorbed wastes, they never enter inside the cell. But whatever metabolic wastes are produced, they are produced inside the body cells. So now we have to enlist some of these products. So let's now study the detail of excretory products produced in human body. The products might be fluid, for example water. It might be gaseous like carbon dioxide, or nitrogenous waste like ammonia, urea, uric acid, creatinine, etc. There might be some minerals. There might be some salts like sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. Some pigments which are present in our body like bilirubin, biliverdin, urochrome, and some pigments which are present in the food stuff. So whenever we eat those food stuffs, those pigments enter inside our body. Excess of hormones, excess of vitamins, some drugs, they can also be called as excretory products. Then certain volatile substances which are produced while we consume spices. So these are also certain excretory products. Now coming towards the modes of excretion. Based on the type of nitrogenous waste. Now we studied about the nitrogenous waste. There are like ammonia, urea, uric acid, creatinine. There are many more. So based on the type of nitrogenous waste products, animals are classified mainly into three groups. They are ammonotelism, ureotelism, and uricotelism. Let's study this in detail, but in such a way that we'll compare all the three of them, so it will be easier for you people to understand it. First we'll start with what is ammonotelism. Elimination of nitrogenous waste in the form of ammonia is called ammonotelism. So here mainly the nitrogenous waste product will be ammonia. Secondly, talking about ureotelism. Here we can define it as elimination of nitrogenous waste in the form of urea is called ureotelism. So here the nitrogenous waste product will be urea. Similarly, if we talk about uricotelism, then we can define it like elimination of nitrogenous waste products in the form of uric acid. So here the main nitrogenous waste product will be uric acid. Okay, so this was the definition for ammonotelism, ureotelism and uricotelism. Only what difference is here? The name of nitrogenous waste product. Like in ammonotelism, the waste product is ammonia. In ureotelism, the waste product is urea. In uricotelism, the waste product is uric acid. Now coming towards the second point. The animals which excrete ammonia as nitrogenous waste products are called ammoniotelic animals. So whatever definition we studied, if the animal is producing that kind of waste product, so that animal is named accordingly. That means the animal is releasing ammonia, then we can call that animal as ammoniotelic animals. Similarly, if the animal secretes urea as nitrogenous waste products, then the animal will be considered as ureotelic animals. And if animals excrete uric acid as nitrogenous waste products, then the animals are called as uricotelic animals. Next, talking about ammonia. Ammonia is highly toxic. Then talking about urea, it is less toxic than ammonia. Then talking about uric acid, it is least toxic. That means it is lesser toxic than ammonia as well as urea. So it is called as least toxic substance. Now, as ammonia is highly toxic, so it is highly soluble in water. And talking about urea, it is less toxic, so it is less soluble in water. Uric acid is least toxic, so it is least soluble in water. As ammonia is very toxic, highly toxic and highly soluble in water, so it cannot be retained in body. That means you cannot keep ammonia in your body because it is very toxic. It may lead to death. Similarly, urea is less toxic, less soluble in water, so it can be retained but for some time. And uric acid, as it is least toxic, it is least soluble in water, so it can be retained in body for longer period of time. Now, how this ammonia is produced? This ammonia is the basic product of deamination. Deamination is a process in which the amino acid group is broken down and ammonia is released. Similarly, that ammonia which is formed, as it is highly toxic, it is converted into less toxic substance. That less toxic substance is urea, and it is formed by ornithine cycle, or you can say urea cycle. Now, this same ammonia can be converted into least toxic form, that is uric acid, by inosinic acid pathway. So, as it is the basic product, so it does not require more energy, that is ammonia. You can say it is energy retaining type of activity, does not require energy to produce ammonia. And urea, as it has to convert ammonia into urea, so it requires some energy. Whereas uric acid, as it has to convert ammonia into urea, then urea into uric acid, that means it requires more energy. Less energy is required for ammonia production, little more energy is required for production of urea, and much more energy is required for production of uric acid. Now, as ammonia is very toxic, highly soluble, and it cannot be retained, so it has to be removed from the body immediately. So in order to eliminate 1 gram of ammonia, it requires 300 to 500 ml of water. So 300 to 500 ml of water is required for elimination of 1 gram of ammonia, whereas only 50 ml of water is required for elimination of 1 gram of urea, whereas only 5 to 10 ml of water is required for elimination of uric acid. So you can say that animals that have plenty of water releases ammonia, whereas Those animals that need the conservation of water to certain extent or some extent, they release urea. And animals that need to conserve more water, then they release uric acid. Coming towards examples. Examples of ammonotelism. Examples are some aquatic invertebrates, bony fishes, protozoans, aquatic or you can say larval amphibians, etc. Examples for ureotelism are mammals, cartilaginous fish, aquatic reptiles, adult amphibians, etc. Examples for uricotelism is birds, some insects, many reptiles, land snails, etc. Apart from these three, that is ammonotelism, ureotelism, uricotelism, there is one more mode of excretion, that is guanotelism. Now, how to define guanotelism? Animals which excrete or eliminate guanine as a nitrogenous waste are called guanotelic animals, and the phenomena is called guanotelism. Or you can say, like we studied about ammonotelism, we can also write same way for guanotelism. That is elimination of nitrogenous waste product in the form of guanine is called guanotelism. The animals which excrete guanine as nitrogenous waste products are called guanotelic animals. In that way or this way you can define it. Examples for guanotelism are spiders, scorpions, and penguins. Talking about next nitrogenous waste product, that is creatinine. Plasma creatinine is produced from catabolism of creatinine phosphate during skeletal muscle contraction. Now, how this happens? Whenever you are doing any kind of activity, your skeletal muscles contract. During this process, plasma creatinine is produced because your creatinine is broken down from creatinine phosphate. Phosphate provides you energy and creatinine enters inside your blood, that is your plasma. So they are called as plasma creatinine. Normally the blood creatinine level remains steady, that is always equal, because the rate of production of creatinine is equal to the rate of excretion of creatinine in urine. That means the amount of creatinine which is produced in your body is always equal to the amount of creatinine which is released from your body through urination. If suppose there is any increase in creatinine level above the normal level, then it is an indication that there is certain problem in your kidney or renal functioning. Renal is the second name for kidney. So you can call it as renal or you can call it as kidney. So if there is any problem related to kidney, then there will be definitely increase in creatinine level. Now the question is, what is kidney then? Kidney is an excretory organ. So now students, as we have completed this much, let's see the summary. Today we studied details about metabolism, metabolic waste products, excretion, osmoregulation, metabolic waste products inside body, mode of excretion. In that, we studied details about ammonotelism, ureotelism, uricotelism, and guanotelism. Then we studied about creatinine, one of the nitrogenous waste product. So students, as we have completed this much, let us stop here. We'll continue again in next video lecture. Till then, take good care of yourselves. Thank you.